You ever wonder why he stares at you like he's starving, but disappears when you ask for more? You can feel his eyes tracing your skin, his voice low, warm, curious, like he's reading pages no one else gets to see. He touches the small of your back, says things that make you feel seen and craved. And for a moment, you believe it. You feel chosen, desired, like you're in the center of something that matters, but then not the silence. The gap between that heat and his effort grows louder than any moan you could ever make. He doesn't ask how your day was. He doesn't remember the little things. He doesn't meet you in the places that feel most naked. Your mind, your emotions, the things you whisper when the lights are out, but you're not trying to seduce him. Just connect. That's when it hits you. Attention and affection aren't the same thing. One feeds his ego, the other feeds your soul. And he was hungry for the moment, not for you. See, a man can crave the shape of your body, the arch of your back, the sound you make when you're about to break open in his hands, and still not hold space for your heart. He can reach for you in the dark and forget to reach for you in the daylight. He can kiss you like he's drowning and then ghost you like he never needed air. That's because some men aren't seeking love. They're seeking relief. Your presence becomes a drug, a distraction, a fix. They don't want to know how your soul bends when it's scared. They just want to taste the part of you that doesn't ask questions, the part that moans, the part that whispers yes, the part that surrenders without asking for anything in return. They want the performance, not the person. But the thing is, real intimacy, it doesn't live in the climax. It lives in the stillness after. When the sweat cools, when your hand's still in his, but your heart's hanging in the air, waiting to be caught. That's when you know who you're really dealing with. Because the man who wants you just for now, he disappears when your needs show up clothed. When your hunger isn't sexual, it's emotional. When you ask for depth instead of desire, for effort instead of ecstasy, for him to remember how you like your coffee after he's kissed the side of your neck all night long. And when he doesn't rise to meet that you're not being loved, you're being used as a pause button in his own life. He's not connecting, he's consuming. You think he wants you. No, he wants the behave way you make him feel. You become his escape, not his destination. He doesn't want to learn the rhythm of your thoughts. He doesn't care how your childhood shaped the way you love. He just wants access to your body, to your time, to your warmth, without responsibility. So he gives you just enough. The well-timed compliment, the hand on your thigh, the voice that dips an octave when he says your name. Just enough to keep the game going, but never enough to build anything real. That's not affection. That's extraction. And if you're not careful, you'll confuse his desire for intimacy with proof of love. But they're not the same. One pulls your dress up, the other pulls your guard down, and only one of them stays when you're no longer easy to undress. You can feel it, can't you? That ache, that lingering tension between what he says and what he doesn't say. He tells you he likes being around you, enjoys your company, even calls you special when the mood's right and the lights are low. But when it's time to show up, when it's not just about what's happening between the sheets or what fits into his schedule, he slips. He disappears into vague texts, half-made plans, and words that sound sweet but taste like nothing. You keep telling yourself to be patient. You don't want to pressure him. Maybe he just needs time. Maybe you're the one who'll change everything for him. Maybe you're the exception to the rule. But what if you're not? What if he's not scared to lose you? because he never thought he had to work to keep you in the first place. There's a kind of man who's drawn to the way you make him feel. The warmth of your voice when he's had a bad day. The softness of your skin under his palms. The way you say his name when you're not wearing anything but intention. He drinks it in like wine, slurring his affection with charm and small promises. But when you pull back the curtain, when your needs start to stretch beyond the bedroom, when your vulnerability isn't just seductive but real, that's when he retreats slowly, quietly. Like a tide you didn't notice pulling away until you're standing there cold alone, soaked in hope. He never feared losing you because you made it too easy to stay. And I know that stings because maybe you gave him the softest parts of yourself. Maybe you bent without breaking. Maybe you convinced yourself that if you gave a little more, he'd finally see your value. But real connection doesn't grow in one-sided giving. It flourishes in mutual effort, in presence that doesn't vanish once the heat fades. And when a man truly sees your worth, he moves differently. He doesn't leave you guessing. He doesn't show up just when he's hungry for your skin. He's consistent because he knows intimacy isn't a moment, it's a choice. It's not the way he touches you when he's aroused. It's the way he holds your gaze when you're unraveling and doesn't look away. It's what he says when your shirt's still on and your insecurities are louder than your confidence. If he's not afraid of losing you, you'll feel it. He'll be careless with your heart, thoughtless with your time. He'll act like your presence is a guarantee, not a gift. And you'll keep shrinking, hoping your silence will be interpreted as grace, when really it just reads as permission. There's no depth in a man who only wants the performance of closeness. He may want to press his body against yours in the dark, but intimacy starts in how he protects your feelings when it's inconvenient. When it's not about pleasure, but about partnership. When a man values you, he doesn't only come close when it's comfortable. He shows up when it's messy, when you're quiet, when you're not glowing, when your love isn't easy, just honest. If he doesn't worry about losing that, he was never holding it to begin with. And you weren't held, you were half-handled. There's a difference. And once you feel it, you never settle for anything less again. It starts with the glances, doesn't it? Those moments when his eyes lock with yours, like there's a promise behind them. He touches your arm casually, but you can feel the heat crawl up your skin. He's in your space, and for a split second, you think you're the exception, the one he's waiting for, the one who can change him, the one who'll make him realize that you're everything he needs. But then when you ask for more, when you ask for commitment, consistency, or clarity, he pulls back, slowly at first. Maybe just a few days without text, a few half-hearted excuses. Then the distance grows. His responses become vague, his attention fades, and all of a sudden, you're left wondering if he was ever really all in. You start to ask yourself, was I just another passing moment? The truth is, you never were the exception. You were just someone he could enjoy in the moment without the weight of responsibility. His indecision wasn't a phase. It was the reality. And here's where the mistake leads. You keep telling yourself that he's not ready, that if you just give him more space, more patience, he'll come around. But you're falling into a trap where you believe that your love, your affection, your attention is enough to shift his thinking. But if he's truly interested, if he sees the value in what you bring, not just in the bedroom, but in life, he'll make room for you. He won't need constant nudges or gentle reminders of your worth. If he's not making space for you, then he's already made his choice. His indecision is just another way of saying, I'm not ready to choose you fully. That phrase, I'm not ready, it should send a signal to you loud and clear. It's not about you. It's about his fear of commitment, of vulnerability, of truly opening up. But here's the thing, his fear shouldn't be your burden to carry. You are not here to heal him, to mold him into someone who can show up for you when it matters. You're not a project. You're not a test. You're a woman who deserves to be chosen, loved, and prioritized. When he says he's not ready, he's not really saying that he doesn't want you. He's saying that he's not ready to invest. He's not ready to make you a priority. And there's a difference between not being ready and then not being able to commit. The first one sounds like an excuse. The second one is a red flag. Think about it, if someone truly wants you in their life, they'll make it happen. They'll rearrange their schedule. They'll set aside their fears. They'll find a way to meet you halfway. They won't disappear into the night, leaving you with nothing but uncertainty and longing. And yet, here you are, left holding on to a thread of hope, telling yourself it'll get better. Just wait a little longer. You believe in potential more than reality. You believe that the right man will see you for all that you are. And he will, if he chooses to. But if he doesn't, that's not a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of his inability to step up. Don't mistake his indecision for an invitation to prove yourself. Don't mistake his reluctance to commit as an opportunity to show him how much you care. He's not asking you to prove it. He's asking you to wait. And waiting for someone to choose you isn't romantic. It's draining. It's exhausting. It takes away from the very thing that makes you magnetic, your energy, your value, your sense of self. When a man is truly ready to invest, he doesn't hesitate. He doesn't leave you hanging, wondering if you're his priority or his backup. He doesn't pull back when things get real. Instead, he leans in. He takes action. He shows you with his words, his actions, and his consistency that you are worth the effort. If he's not doing that, he's not your person. Don't wait for someone to choose you when you're already clear on your worth. As it helps us, you deserve someone who's ready to choose you every damn day, not just when it's convenient for him. You know that feeling, right? It helps us. When he looks at you like you're the only thing in the room, like you're the one thing he's been craving all along. His touch is electric, his words smooth, and for a moment, everything feels perfectly aligned. But then, after the fire fades, the silence creeps in. He retreats, pulling back into his own world. That connection you felt so deeply. It starts to feel like a marriage, a fleeting moment that was never meant to last. The thing is, it's so easy to mistake passion for presence. You can be physically there with someone, be lost in the moment, caught in the heat of it all. But where does that leave you when the intensity burns out? If he can reach for you when the sparks fly, but disappears when the flame starts to dim, you have to ask does he really see you? Or does he only crave the part of you that's easy to take? When a man is truly invested, it's not just about what happens when the lights go down or the sheets are tangled. Real presence is about being there emotionally, mentally, consistently, not just when he wants to feel good, but when it's time to show up. And this is where things start to shift as it helps us. The real test isn't how handles you in the heat of the moment. It's how he shows up when the heat is gone. How does he handle you when you're raw, when your walls come down and the vulnerability spills out? Does he stay? Does he lean in and offer more? Or does he run? The most dangerous part of this is that sometimes we don't realize we're being led on. You get caught in the allure of the moment, thinking that it means something deeper. You allow yourself to believe that the way he looks at you when you're close, the way his body moves with yours, means something more than just an exchange of desire. But does he make the effort when your body isn't in front of him? Does he still think about you when you're apart, or is it just the thrill of the chase that keeps him coming back? Think about it. How many times has he promised more and then pulled away? How many sweet nothings have turned into silence when you needed reassurance? The truth is, you're not just a fix for his momentary need. You're not just someone to be touched and then discarded. If he only comes alive when he can hold you, but vanishes when it's time to connect on a deeper level, you're only part of his story when it's convenient for him, and you deserve more than that. Love isn't just about the lust-filled moments that leave you breathless. It's about the quiet moments too, the ones where your connection isn't driven by chemistry, but by mutual respect and care. The ones where he's still there, showing up for you, even when the spark isn't burning as brightly. But if he doesn't know how to show up without the heat, you're left wondering if there's anything real there at all. And here's the kicker, when a man truly wants you, he won't disappear when it's inconvenient. He doesn't just seek pleasure when it's easy. He seeks you when it's hard, when it's complex, when you're not just a moment of passion, but an integral part of his life. But if he can't be there when you need him, when it's not just about his satisfaction, but about mutual growth, care, and connection, then it's time to question what you're really offering him. Is it just your body, or is it your heart? Are you available for more than just the fleeting moments of intimacy, or are you merely a brief escape from his world? And in the end, you have to ask yourself, what are you worth to him? Because if he isn't giving you more than just passion, if he can't show up for you when it's not about instant gratification, then maybe you're not the one he's ready to love. Or maybe he's just not ready to love you the way you deserve to be loved. But here's the truth. You deserve someone who seeks you whole, raw, and vulnerable. Someone who isn't just after the quick fix, but who is willing to invest in the long haul. Because when he really wants you, he'll want all of you, not just the moments that make him feel good. He'll chase the depth. He'll hold space for your sound, and when the heat dies down, he'll still be right there, loving you quietly, deeply, consistently. You feel the pull, don't you? That fire between you two, the kind of spark that hums under the surface, unspoken, but undeniable. His hands know exactly where to rest. His mouth finds yours like it's a secret you've both been keeping. And when your bodies meet, it feels like something that should mean more. You breathe him in like he might be permanent. You close your eyes and let him in, not just physically, but emotionally. Because somewhere deep inside, you're hoping that this connection, the electricity, the hunger, the way your body melts under his, might be the beginning of something real. But here's the part no one wants to admitting: chemistry is a beautiful liar. Just because you feel good in the moment doesn't mean he plans to stay once the sheets cool and the night fades. You tell yourself this time is different. That maybe this time the way he looks at you while you're tangled together means something. That his hand in your hair and the sound of your name dripping from his mouth are signs he's falling. But what if he's not? What if it's just the high, the chase, the thrill of touching something he doesn't have to keep? Chemistry is intoxicating. It burns fast, leaves you breathless, makes you think you found something rare. But it can't build a foundation. It can't hold you at your lowest. It can't calm the storm inside your chest when you're wondering where you stand the next day. Desire is primal. It's heat without clarity. It's movement without direction. You mistake passion for potential, and before you know it, you're laying beside someone who knows your skin, but not your soul. You begin to notice it, how he shows up when he wants to feel good, but vanishes when the emotional temperature shifts, as it helps us. How he's all in when your lips are on his neck, but distant when your voice carries the weight of needing something more. He was present for your body, not prepared for your depth. The truth is, not every connection is meant to evolve. Some are just explosions, wild, bright, unforgettable, and gone. And if you're not careful, you'll let your body write a story your heart is left to survive. He might crave you, touch you, explore you. But does he choose you? As it helps us. Does he hold you when there's no climax? Does he listen when your walls are down and you're not being seductive, just real? Does he lean in when it's not sexy, but necessary? Because real connection doesn't rush. It doesn't flicker out the moment vulnerability enters the room. It builds in the quiet moments, in the pauses between the hunger, in the space where your truths are raw, not rehearsed. If the only time he pulls you close is when desire takes over, you'll always be chasing meaning in moments that were never meant to last. And it will hurt. It will feel like intimacy, but it's a performance. One that ends when the tension breaks and the clothes are back on. You'll lie awake wondering if the way he moved against you meant anything. If his breath in your ear, his hand around your thigh, his name whispered into your shoulder, if any of it made you unforgettable. But love doesn't leave you guessing. And real commitment doesn't vanish once it's been satisfied. So before you let the chemistry convince you he's the one, ask yourself this: does the way he enters your body match the way he shows up in your life? Because the right man doesn't just make love to you. He builds it with you. Every damn day. He leaned in close, whispered that you were different, that there's something about you he can't quite shake. His eyes trace your mouth like he's imagining the taste of it, and his hands, they hover just shy of indecent, like he's asking permission without words. Everything about the moment feels electric. But here's the question. Ask, does he respect you when your clothes are still on? When your body isn't the gift he's unwrapping, but your values are? Because what he says when he's turned on is easy. What matters is how he responds when you say no. When you say not yet. When you say, I want more than this. And this is where it happens, where the shift begins. Because the way you hold your standards, the way you protect your space, your energy, your softness, it either excites him or exposes him. There are men who'll crave of the heat, but shrink at the strength of you. The moment you draw a line, the moment you don't fold to his rhythm, the moment you say, this is what I need to feel safe, seen, and secure, you stop being easy access. You start being a woman he has to rise for. And not every man is ready for that. He might call you intense. He might say you're complicated. He might accuse you of playing games when really you're just playing by your rules. Because when you have boundaries, you're not bending just because his desire walked in. You're not melting at the first sign of attention. You're evaluating, discerning, measuring if his hunger includes the appetite to truly nourish you. Men are wired to chase, but not all of them are built to cherish. When you express what you need, not what pleases him, not what keeps him comfortable, but what honors your soul, something powerful happens. You shift the dynamic from chemistry to compatibility, from access to alignment, from heat to holding. And if he's not ready for that, he'll drift. He'll find someone easier, someone who doesn't speak up, someone who trades silence for closeness, even if it's temporary. But you're not for temporary. You don't just want him reaching for your body, you want him reaching for your truth, for your trust, for the parts of you that don't unfold without care. Boundaries aren't walls, they're invitations. Not to keep love out, but to call the all right kind of love in, the kind that doesn't panic when you pause, that doesn't push when you say, not tonight. That doesn't pout when you ask for consistency. That doesn't reward you only when you're pleasing, performing, or pleasing, him, as it helps us. You become magnetic, not when you're available to everyone, but when you're undeniable to the one who sees you clearly, as us. And let me tell you something that most won't say out loud: boundaries are wildly seductive to the right man. Not because they challenge him sexually, but because they challenge him emotionally. They tell him, if you want me, come correct. Show me you can handle more than my curves. Show me you can handle my character. You set the tone by what you tolerate. You teach him how to love you by how you love yourself when he's watching ON, when he's testing. And if he pulls away when you ask for something deeper, something sacred. That's not rejection, that's redirection. Because the one meant to undress your soul will never be afraid of the way you protect it.